A few days later, Glen May and I went for a walk. She said that we were going to find some special plants she would use to make dye. I didn't know what dye meant, but it sounded like a picnic to me, and I love to eat plants. That's what got me into trouble. So let's look on her look. She's got rabbit brush, wild onion, cliff rose, sumac, juniper, walnuts, and dog. So she's going to go outside and find all these things out in the wilderness, isn't she? Wow. Glen May was out looking for more plants. I ate every one she already collected in her bucket. Delicious. Uh-oh. What do you think's going to happen? Her arms are already tired from spinning all that wool, and now, look, Geraldine's eat up all of her stuff that she found. Oh, but she's not going to like that. The next day, Glen May made me stay home while she walked miles to a store. She said the dye she could buy wasn't the same as the kind she makes from plants, but since I'd made such a pig of myself, it would have to do. So look, she doesn't look happy, Geraldine doesn't look happy, and she's got to walk to the store to get some dye. Store-bought dye. I was really worried that she would still be angry with me when she got back. She wasn't, though, and pretty soon she had 3 big potfuls of dye boiling over a fire. Then I saw what Glen May had meant by dyeing. She dipped my white wool into one pot, and it turned pink. She dipped it again, and it turned a darker pink. And by the time she'd finished dipping it in and out and hung it up to dry, it was a beautiful deep red. Ooh. That's right here. She's thinking about what she would look like if all that wool was still on her. After that, she dyed some of my wool brown and some of it black. I couldn't help but wondering if these plants I'd eaten would all turn me into these same colors. But they won't. No, just have to have it dyed in a pot, don't you? While I was worrying about that, Glen May started to make our rug, and she took a ball of yarn and wrapped it around and around 2 poles. I lost count when she had reached 300 wraps. I guess I was too busy thinking about what it would be like to be the only red, white, black, and brown goat at Window Rock. Say she's distracted, not paying attention. It wasn't long before Glen May had finished wrapping. Then she hung the poles with the yarn on a big wooden frame. It looked like a picture frame made of logs. She called it a loom. I remember my grandma, she used to make quilts on one of these big things called a loom. She had hers, though, built inside the house. After a whole week of getting ready to weave, Glen May started. She began weaving at the bottom of the loom. Then one strand of yarn at a time, our rug was started growing toward the top. Wow, I still can't imagine all the work in that rug. It takes so much work. A few strands of black, a few of brown, a few of red, in and out, back and forth, until in a few days the pattern of our rug was clear to see. Our rug grew very slowly, just as every Navajo weaver before her had done for hundreds and hundreds of years. Glen May formed a design that would never be duplicated. That means it's one of a kind. You can't make another one just like it. Oh, look how beautiful. Then at last the weaving was finished, but not until I'd checked it quite thoroughly in the front and in back did I let Glen May take our rug off the loom. There was a lot of me in that rug, and I wanted it to be perfect, and it was. Since then, my wool has grown almost long enough for Glen May and me to make another rug. I hope we do very soon, because you see, there aren't too many weavers like Glen May left among the Navajos. Glen May needs to teach others how to do that, doesn't she? And there's only one goat like me, Geraldine. And it says, this is the true story of a weaver and her goat who lived in the Navajo Nation at Window Rock, Arizona. So this was a real story. It was a real story about two people, and it taught us how to make rugs. So that would be narrative nonfiction. That's when you have a true story, but instead of using headings and captions and all that stuff, they just put it in the form of a story, so it makes it easier to remember and understand. I hope you guys liked it as much as I do. See you soon. Bye.